Hi, Dr. Sands here. In this video, we are going to walk through the Six Sigma DMAIC process as guided by my book, Six Sigma Success Factors, which is available on Amazon.com. Introduction. Why DMAIC matters. In my book, Six Sigma Success Factors, I emphasize that organizational success doesn't happen by accident. It is driven by intentional, disciplined effort. One of the most powerful tools in our Six Sigma toolbox is the DMAIC methodology: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. This structured process isn't just a series of steps, it is a mindset shift that enables teams to break down complex problems, get to the root cause of inefficiencies, and ultimately design solutions that stick. DMAIC serves as a consistent roadmap that teams across industries can rely on to achieve measurable results. It empowers organizations to move from reactive problem solving to proactive innovation, and that's exactly what sets high-performing teams apart. Introduction. DMAIC in diverse industries. One of the greatest strengths of DMAIC is its versatility. In my experience across industries like healthcare, finance, manufacturing, and service sectors, I've seen firsthand how DMAIC provides a universal language for solving problems. In a hospital setting, it helps reduce patient wait times. In manufacturing, it drives defect reduction and product consistency. In finance, it helps streamline claims processing and reduce cost inefficiencies. The beauty of DMAIC is that it respects the uniqueness of every process while applying timeless principles that can be adapted and scaled. By following this structured pathway, organizations not only improve results, they build a culture of continuous improvement that touches every employee, every process, and ultimately every customer. Now let's take a deeper look at each phase of the DMAIC methodology. Define phase. The define phase is where it all begins. In this stage, we don't rush to solve problems, we slow down to truly understand what needs fixing. One of the biggest mistakes organizations make is assuming they already know the problem. In my research and hands-on experiences, I found that clearly articulating the business problem and aligning it with customer expectations is the most critical success factor. By creating a project charter, we define the scope, objectives, and deliverables in a way that sets realistic expectations and accountability. Stakeholder identification is also key. Who owns the process, who's affected, and who needs to be at the table? And defining the voice of the customer, we also utilize tools like the SAPOC diagram to get a bird's eye view of the process, ensuring we're aligned on where the boundaries lie and what inputs and outputs matter most. This is the foundation of strategic alignment and project clarity. Now on to the measure phase. Measure phase. In the measure phase, we transition from theory to evidence. The aim here is not to validate assumptions, but to discover the truth through data. We start by identifying the key performance indicators that will tell us whether our process is functioning well or not. This isn't about tracking every metric, just the ones that matter most. Collecting reliable baseline data helps us understand the current state, and more importantly, it sets the benchmark we'll use to judge future improvements. A core principle and of most importance of a validated measurement system. Conducting a measurement system analysis, MSA, ensures the data we're using is both accurate and consistent. If the data is flawed, everything else that follows could be misguided. This then will enable a strong project baseline to be calculated. This phase helps ground the project in reality and arms the team with factual insight instead of guesswork. Now, onto the analyze phase. Analyze phase. The analyze phase is arguably the most intellectually demanding phase. This is where we interrogate the data to find out what's truly causing the problem. Root cause analysis tools like the 5 whys and fishbone diagram help us structure this exploration and avoid the temptation to jump to conclusions. I emphasize that correlation does not imply causation. That's why statistical hypothesis testing is so important. Techniques like ANOVA, regression, and chi-square testing allow us to confirm whether patterns in the data are statistically significant or just noise. In my book, Six Sigma Success Factors, I discuss how process mapping at this stage helps illuminate bottlenecks, redundancies, or inconsistencies that wouldn't be obvious otherwise. A successful analyze phase brings clarity and direction. It tells us exactly where to focus our improvement efforts. Now, on to the improve phase. Improve phase. Now comes the action. The improve phase is where we implement targeted changes that address the verified root causes uncovered and analyzed. It starts with creative brainstorming, but it doesn't end there. We evaluate each idea for feasibility, impact, and cost benefit. Pilot testing is key because it allows us to experiment on a small scale, reducing risk while validating our improvements. Once we confirm the solutions work, we roll them out fully and carefully document the changes. This isn't just about installing a new process, it's about confirming that it delivers results. I've seen that when teams properly measure improvements during this phase, they gain confidence and momentum. Improvement isn't a one-time event, it's a practice. This stage gives teams the tools and validation to believe in the process and sustain progress. Now, on to the control phase. Control phase. Finally, we reach the control phase. The control phase is where we lock in our gains. The best improvement in the world is meaningless if it doesn't last. We build control plans that include standard operating procedures and process documentation, ensuring that the new way of doing things becomes part of the organizational DNA. Visual management tools like dashboards and control charts allow ongoing monitoring. We train staff not just on the what, but on the why, so they understand the value behind the process. In my book, Six Sigma Success Factors, I emphasize that sustained improvement is a cultural commitment. That's why scheduled audits and feedback loops are essential. Control means we don't revert to old habits, it's about institutionalizing excellence. Now, wrapping it up, strategic takeaways. DMAIC is not just a set of tools, it's a leadership strategy. As I wrote in Six Sigma Success Factors, true transformation doesn't occur until data, culture, and vision align. DMAIC gives us a structure for achieving that alignment. It allows teams to go beyond quick fixes and embrace process thinking. The strategic value is immense. It ensures that our efforts aren't siloed or reactive, but integrated and proactive. DMAIC gives leadership and frontline teams a shared language, a roadmap, and the metrics to prove their success. Sustaining gains. Sustaining gains isn't just about enforcing procedures, it's about reinforcing belief. Leadership must champion the change and the culture must embrace it. As I discussed in my book, Six Sigma Success Factors, the role of AI and digital tools in the future of Six Sigma, but none of that matters if organizations don't commit to the fundamentals. DMAIC is more than a method, it is a way of thinking. When every employee understands how to define, measure, analyze, improve, and control their work, improvement becomes organic. That's when an organization evolves from good to great. All right, well, that's about it. Nice to meet you, and thank you for watching. Be sure to purchase your very own copy of Six Sigma Success Factors on Amazon.com. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into Six Sigma. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.